Cabinet welcomes the peace and calm that has begun to prevail in communities that were affected by the recent attacks on foreign nationals. Cabinet also commended the departments that worked through the National Joint Operations Center to stop these acts of violence that took place in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. It also commended the provincial and municipal leaders in affected areas for their role in providing relief and leading the process of reintegration of foreign nationals into communities. In the past week, our President Zuma convened stakeholder meetings with the representatives of business, religious groups, labor, civil society, and foreign nationals. These engagements were constructive to assist in taking the process forward. All participants were unanimous in expressing their condemnation of these attacks and committed themselves to working with government in finding lasting solutions. The recently appointed Ministerial Committee, the IMC on Migration, is working to find a lasting solution to issues that have been raised by our own communities and foreign nationals. Some of the key decisions that Cabinet took. Cabinet was briefed on the progress that has been made on the immovable asset register of national government. A real estate registry services division has been established with effect from the 1st of April 2015. This division will be managed within the property management trading entity at Public Works and will oversee state immovable assets in South Africa. It will also serve as a single repository of state immovable assets and provide an oversight, regulatory, and monetary structure of state immovable asset register. Cabinet approved also the release of the draft policy on the customary practice of initiation for public comment. This policy proposal seeks to protect, promote, and regulate initiation by proposing acceptable norms and standards and also provide for structures at national and provincial level. It will ensure the initiations take place in a controlled environment. This forms part of the steps that our government is taking to reinforce appropriate, acceptable customs practices and restore an acceptable level of accountability that has sustained practices over many years. Cabinet also approved the Intergovernmental Human Settlement Program for the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, which will use the Housing Development Agency as its implementing agent. Cabinet also approved the hosting of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions Annual World Library Information Congress in Cape Town from the 15th to the 21st of August 2015 under the theme Dynamic Libraries, Access, Development and Transformation. Cabinet also approved the tabling of the protocol to eliminate illicit trade on tobacco products. This is in accordance with the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, which South Africa has ratified in April of 2005. This protocol will assist countries to take global action against the illicit trade in tobacco products, especially on countries that are signatories to this protocol. On current issues, Cabinet has expressed its condolences to the families of those who died in the recent public transport accidents, which included a collision of two buses in Johannesburg last week and a collision of trains this week at Denver Station, south of Johannesburg. Cabinet is confident the investigation by relevant departments will establish the causes of these accidents and ensure that such accidents do not happen. Cabinet joins President Zuma in conveying its condolences to the family, friends, and the entire football fraternity on the passing on of former Bafana Bafana football legend John Shoes Musheu, who was buried on Monday, the 27th of April. He will always be remembered as a supremely talented footballer who played a central role in our triumph at the 1996 Africa Cup of Nations. Cabinet also joined President Zuma in conveying condolences to the government and people of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal following a massive earthquake on Saturday, 25th of April, that has claimed thousands of lives. Cabinet commends the South African non-governmental organizations who have already dispatched humanitarian aid to Nepal. We express our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Brigadier General Mbita, who died at the age of 75 in Tanzania. General Mbita served as the Executive Secretary of the Liberation Committee of the then Organization of African Unity, the OAU. He was also a recipient of the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in gold, the highest honor that South Africa bestows on foreign nationals. Upcoming events. President Zuma will be attending the 70th anniversary of the victory of the Great Patriotic War, the World War II, at the Red Square in Moscow on the 9th of May 2015. He will also have bilateral engagements with his counterpart, His Excellency President Vladimir Putin of Russia. This visit will build on our current bilateral relations with the Russian Federation to further advance cooperation in a number of fields. In the celebration of Workers' Day tomorrow, the 1st of May, Cabinet calls on all workers to unite and build South Africa's economy and contribute to the African continent and the world. Since 1994, our government has advanced workers' rights, which has resulted in workers benefiting from the generation of progressive labor and social protection benefits. National departments will present their budget votes to Parliament between the 5th of May and the 21st to highlight their priority activities for the current financial year. Cabinet calls on South Africans to follow these budget votes on various media platforms to better understand when ministers outline plans for government's program of action. The Department of Tourism and the South African Tourism will be holding Indaba 2015 from the 9th to the 11th of May at the Inkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center in Durban. This Pan-Africanist event is a critical platform to promote our tourism products to the international market. It also supports the strategic vision of the National Tourism Sector Strategy to grow international arrivals to 15 million people by 2020 and thereby creating 225,000 new jobs. Cabinet also welcomes the 5th Gender Summit Africa, the first to be held on the African soil. This summit is taking place as we speak at the Cape Town International Convention Center. The summit is a platform for groups and organizations across all levels of scientific research to address gender issues of mutual concern. The summit, hosted by the Human Sciences Research Council, strengthens Africa's research agenda so that science, technology, infrastructure, capital, skills, and data can better support the development of the African continent. The Department of Water and Sanitation will mark Sanitation and Hygiene Week from the 11th to the 15th of May under the theme, "It's Not All About Flushing." The week, which was first introduced at the Global Wash Forum held in Dhaka in Senegal in 2004, aims to raise awareness on the importance of sanitation and promote sanitation best practice. Since 1994, our government has made great strides in the provision of access to water and sanitation. And since September 2013, the Department of Water and Sanitation has eradicated the use of 14,386 buckets countrywide. Government remains deeply committed to completely eradicating the backlog of this bucket system in our community.